Hey everyone, so it is Monday, March 18th. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, so I celebrated by staying in the apartment. But I am now 19 days post-op, I think. Whatever February 27th is ago. But I have my second follow-up appointment tomorrow morning, and then Wednesday, so only 2 days away, I get to go home, and I get to go see my kids and my dog and my house, and I get to be in, the land of Chicago with all the good food that I miss and decent pizza. The pizza here is fine-ish, it's fine, but it's not home, and I really miss, thin crust Chicago style pizza. It's so good. Anyway, so I know in my last video I said that I was going to post another one about some stuff that was annoying me, and what it really comes down to, I recorded the whole thing, and it just wound up being 10 minutes of me bitching, and that's not really the brand that I prefer to put out there. I really like being positive, and I like lifting other people up, and less, sort of putting other people down, and I don't want to do that. So, what it really comes down to is sort of same thing you're taught in school: keep your eyes on your own paper, right? Except in this case, it's keep your eyes on your own transition. We have a tendency as trans people, especially older trans women, especially older white trans women, to sort of universalize our experience. And I work really hard to avoid doing that because no experience is universal, right? No experience of womanhood is universal. No experience of transness is universal. No experience of trans womanhood is universal. And no experience of SRS or GCS or GRS or bottom surgery or top surgery or any of that is universal. And so what I have encountered is a lot of unsolicited advice or assumptions about what I went through based on what somebody else went through, and that's not really the case. The surgery I had is a different procedure, potentially from somebody else. It's fairly new, actually, so it's probably fairly different than a lot of people. And so, things that were true 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago aren't necessarily true anymore in the prep and the experience and the afterward and the care and the everything else. So, it just comes down to be there for your fellow trans folks, be there for your fellow trans women if that's the case, be there for people who are experiencing new things, and if you're asked to share your experience, then share your experience, right? But don't assume that what you went through is what everybody else went through, right? Keep your eyes on your own transition, and then everything else will work itself out, right? Anyway, mostly I am sort of a catch-up on where I am right now. Obviously I'm still in the apartment in New York, but I am just basically doing all of the maintenance stuff, dilating when I'm supposed to be dilating or thereabouts. Trying to get out and walk the neighborhood a little bit, though I've not been great at that. Spent a lot of time catching up on TV shows that I've been missing. Not the best possible use of time, I suppose, but it's a thing. I did get to go see Captain Marvel with a friend who lives here in New York. He's from Brooklyn, where I'm staying, so he got to take me to downtown Brooklyn and sort of show me a couple of things, and we had a really nice meal and enjoyed the movie, which was awesome, and I super recommend it. Let's see. I didn't get to see some of the people that I wanted to see, and I didn't get to connect with people that I kind of wanted to connect with, but it's one of those things where either schedules miss up or maybe we're on different pages of where our relationship actually is, and I need to work on that on my part. But regardless, that's all brain drama. But I'm having a good time, but I'm really starting to miss home, and I want to be back in my own place and places where I'm comfortable, and places where I know where to go, and I know what things to do, and you know, it's not exactly a vacation here. I'm sort of on imposed exile for a while, which, for good reasons, right? I'm not disappointed. I'm really happy with the results. The pain is way more manageable. It was never really bad, but, things are still swollen and sore and tender, but less. So there's a lot of like same but less. And I'm sort of navigating all of that. Weird thing though, the like hernia nerve pain that I had while I was in the hospital went away within a day of being discharged. But the last couple days, it's sort of started to show up again. Not in the same sort of debilitating way that it was before, but more in the like, hey, by the way, this is a nerve here that, is impacting you in just a little bit of ways. So, I'm hoping that that's, just things reconnecting. Because there's been a lot of that too. So like nerves are reconnecting. So every so often there's like a little needly pain in some very tender areas, which is not fun. At least, contextually, I suppose if that's your thing, then I am so pro you having needles in very tender places, but that's not something I consented to, and it's not something I wanted to be doing. So, that's happening and is less than fun, but it's getting better. I imagine that's something that's going to keep happening over the next couple of weeks or months as healing continues. But, here we are. So things are getting better. I can't complain. I'm really excited to be, this close to going home. I'm really grateful to my ex-girlfriend who came here during the surgery, or to be there while I was in surgery and for the next couple days after, and my brother who was there the day before I got discharged through the following Saturday, and my friend who came up from Atlanta, who cooked me a whole bunch of food that I've been trying to eat before I have to leave, and just everyone who has sent me really kind wishes and sort of checking in on me, and I really appreciate it. So anyway, that's kind of all I have. Things are progressing. I'll probably make one more video just to sort of show off the cute little apartment I've been staying in before I leave, and then my next update you'll see my familiar computer chair or my couch or however I set up the camera to do it. But things will be a little bit closer back to normal. So, I am really happy with the way that everything has turned out. Can't help that I'm just a little bored, but that's, probably the best case scenario out of all of this. So, I don't know. I'm just happy, and I'm just glad that things are working out, and I look forward to being home. But thank you all, and please post questions or comments. I'll be glad to answer anything. Even about the procedure itself, I'll talk a little bit about it if that's something that anybody wants to know about. But thank you all.